Welcome back to a very basic space program. Last time we landed on the moon, which has opened up some missions, and we didn't kill anybody doing it. Well, this time. The time we won't talk about the first one. That was a test mission, and we won't go into it. We've got a few missions we want to look at, and I think we've got something we can do, but it does mean we've got to get rid of 3 dead bodies. Please join me. So last time I asked you for your input as to what the next step is. I'm still going to keep taking your input because I have not decided quite what I want to do yet. I might put a poll up. I haven't decided. If I haven't put a poll up already, I might have already done that. A couple of things that we've got. We've got Lunar Surface Outpost. Thanks, Jane. I would like to do this. I think this is something I would like to do. The issue I'm going to have with it is whether I send an outpost and then have it come back up to the surface, from the surface. So the outpost on the moon for 30 days, that's fine. 2 crew on board, 2 on board the outpost, land on the moon, land the outpost on the moon. So I think that's okay. We could just use a lander that has capacity for 4, is what I'm actually thinking. So a big lander, but we'll think about that. We're supposed to leave the outpost on the surface. Ah, very nice. So we may have to have a 2-part mission there. If we do a 2-part mission, that will also require that I potentially... You don't want to know about this. I might want to send a rover out, maybe, is a possibility. That'd be a thing we could maybe do, because having a rover on the surface might be useful for transporting crew, maybe, is a possibility. The other thing we do definitely need to do is I need to, where is it? Targeted crewed landing. Thanks again, Gene. You're very loud today. Targeted crewed landing. This is a requirement if I want to go to do missions to Mars, I believe. So I have to do this no matter what happens. So I need to try and do this. And this is the Oceanus Polarium. Okay, that spot there, that one there. We've got like a year to do it. I'm not going to start it yet because it takes the time to build the craft and things like that. We're going to build a stockpile of those craft up, maybe 3 or 4, I think. We'll maybe get those building. Single crewed lunar orbit we can do on the way because that will actually give us the funds with this for lots of stuff. So that's not a big issue for us. But we've got the lunar outpost going to require a bigger launch vehicle. And then we're just looking at other things. So I'm going to upgrade the mission control because we might as well. We've upgraded everything else. I'm just looking at our windows here. So we've got the Saturn window. We've got the Saturn craft on its pad waiting. Uranus, we're not going yet. I need bigger antennas and stuff. Neptune, I'm not going to touch either. We've got a fast Jupiter transfer in 2 years. We've got a Saturn one in 370, so about a year. And that one I want to get onto, which is going to mean these 2 craft are going to need to be done. So we're going to move them up. Those I want to get out of the way quickly so they're ready to go. After that, we're then basically looking at the Ceres missions, the Vesta missions are being completed. We've got a Venus window that looks... Why have I got a Venus window all the way down there? Wow. That must be a really good Venus window. So that's the only requirements we've got. These things are all underway. So we've got the 2 Saturn missions, which are hopefully going to be landers on Iapetus and Rhea. If I go for that, we'll see. And this Saturn mission, which is the Titan mission. So we're pretty much free after that. We've got the relays arriving in 200 days. So these 2, once they're out of the way, done. We've got these sample returns, and then it's a case of these things. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate a couple of these just to have them. Now, they are not the best craft. Let's just point this out. We have actually got better tech now. So it would be probably better to not use them, but... What have we got? We've got, we just roll the egress up. So we're going to move these up. I'm going to get all these up to the top, get all the stuff ready, and then we'll look at what we're going to do today. So just in case you're wondering, so we've got these 2 Pathfinders going. They'll just sit and wait for the time. That's going to be in a little bit. We've got egress. In fact, we've got egress. We're going to move egress up. We're going to move dog up as well. And that one can go a bit higher. So we've got the egress and the dog. That's going to be 100 days. We've got these Leela test craft, just because I want to test them with different engines, different versions of the Leela craft. And then we've got a stack of these: egress dog, dog. We've got another dog. Where's it? Move the egress up. So that gives us a lot. So that's like, Apollo 12. Well, that's Apollo 13, 14, 15. Okay, interesting. So what are we doing today? Well, I want to build a craft to put a base on the moon. I can't do that unless I can land it. Whether I do that in a way where I basically send down an egress with extra capacity and then leave the extra capacity on the ground, or whether I send something down and we land an egress near it, really depends on whether we can land craft in a decent location. So we're going to actually try. We're going to try it. Thanks, Gene, again. We're going to actually try and complete a mission, but without doing the mission, if that makes sense. So we're in a bit of a unique situation. So we've got targeted moon landing on the Oceanus Porcellum. We have a craft around the moon that we can use for this. And also, I think it's bad leaving that craft around the moon when it's got 3 dead bodies on it. So we're going to do something with that as well. So this episode, I'm going to try and land in the Oceanus Porcellum, or whatever it's called. That's the one. Right. This is going to be easy. Is it? Right. So I have moved over to one of our craft. Actually, let's just get that into retrograde. And I brought up on MechJeb this which will tell us what biome we're in, because I wanted to actually check. So this here is what I'm looking for. This is the biome I want. So it's all the way down there, I think. Oceanus Porcellum. Now, I don't know how far it goes. I think it goes from here across, but I have a horrible feeling that there's another biome up here and possibly another one down here. So I think we just need to land somewhere in here. Like there would be the best place, wouldn't it? Now, and this is where it gets interesting. Yeah, our craft I was going to use is on this inclination, which is different to this. And it ain't going over that. So I wonder whether we just let it go for a little while and see if it, let's go and check. Switch to this one. Is this craft going to actually have the same biome? Wow, and as if by magic, we are still over that biome. Okay, so I think, so there's the Laurel Egress. That's the one that's come up from the surface. I think this here, this whole section is going to be beautiful for us. I think what we're going to do is we're going to watch this go round, and we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens. This thing does have a high inclination and everything. Oh, so there we go. Right, it's just changed. No, it jumped off again. Okay, it moved biome there. So let's have a look. So there is another biome up here, and we just touched the edge of it, or the one side of it. I don't know which bit, but we need to be aware of that. So basically from here onwards, is this going to all be the same biome? Let's speed it up. Right, oh, there we go. There was another bit there. You see that there? There was another bit around here. So we could accidentally land in the wrong place. I think we need to land around here. This is the juicy bit, I think. Possibly that's definitely it, isn't it? This area here is where we want to land. Right. So now we're going to have to figure out how to do that. Let's see. If we go to our landing guidance, thank you. Pick target on map. I want to land there. I don't want to do that, actually. Let's not pick the target on the land. Land somewhere. Abort landing. Right. No, get off. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. How do I cancel that? No. Land somewhere. Abort landing. How do I don't want that. I don't show me landing predictions. That's the one I want. Just close that. Oh, this is just going to be annoying now, isn't it? Okay. Right. We're just going to ignore that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick target. I would like to land just there. That's where I would like to land. That's my target. Now, what's going to happen is we have 2 craft here. I don't need these 2 craft. This one here, we're going to do something with. I haven't decided quite yet what it is going to be doing, but yeah, it's not doing that. What we're going to do is we're going to decouple you straight away. I'm going to undock. Thank you. This craft, do you have power? Let's find out. You have, I'm going to get rid of you first of all. Yeah, you do. Right. Let us, have we got control of you? I would like to basically pull you out of orbit. Is what we're going to do. We're gonna. Oh, we've got a solar storm going on. How exciting! Right, I am going to. I don't want to do that. Orbit retrograde. We got RCS control. Okay, we're going to need to decouple that, aren't we? There we go. Ah, now we have control. Wonderful. Right, I want this to be retrograde. Turn that off. Let's get this thing turned around. I would like this thing to slow down, is what I really want. Just turn it around. And then we're going to fire the engine, and we're going to smash this into the ground. We don't need it at the moment. It is wasting space, and I don't want to leave it in orbit because of what's inside it. I think it's just rude of us to actually even think of doing anything with it. We're going to put the biome thing over here, actually. That's a good place to put it. Right. And then let's just fire the engine. Fire the engine. There we go. Wonderful. That's not going to at all cause me problems in the future, is it? No. Right, so this thing is going to basically burn off everything it's got. And we're going to just fire it into the ground. And we want it to hit hard. We want it to actually just go straight down. So, radial in. There we go. That's what we want to do. So let's get this thing going. We could retrograde it, but yeah, you know what, just retrograde it. And then once that's, oh, there we are. There we go. It's, oh, now that's interesting. How much? Ooh, why did that cut out? Oh my. Now, isn't that interesting? Wow. So this craft, with that fuel left, would not have been able to get back to Earth. I think we just, I mean, I was about to say, we think we just saved some lives. We didn't. There's some dead bodies on board. So this thing would have actually got stuck. It would not have made it back. What that does do is it makes me realize having a single engine like that is a nightmare. What is the situation with test flight? We're not going to get that engine back. It's got a lot of time between failures, and it failed. Wow. Engine shutdown? That's interesting. Okay. Okay. So that one is kaput skid. Let's leave it to. I don't think we need to watch where it goes to. We're gonna switch it over to the egress. We should really rename this. Think of a name. Ooh, Lonesome Dove. There you go. Lonesome Dove. This thing will be landing and not coming back unless we need to test something. We'll probably just put it down as an emergency craft, in fact. Kerbals can walk to it if they really need to. All right. So we want to land around here. So let's show landing predictions. If I come in here, we've got a lot of it. We could just start it here, couldn't we? In fact, yeah, maybe. It's a very high angle coming in, but let's go to here and then start our engines. I don't know how far we're going to fly. If we start on the edge, about here, then I'm hoping that we actually have the requirement to land. And if we don't, we don't. It's the way it's going to be. Right, so we are now over the moon's lowlands. We're going to retrograde it. Right. So I would really like to come down here. I think this is the area we need to come down. I just don't know how long it's going to take. 4 minutes to get to there. We have a lot of burning, don't we? Right, okay. I see. That engine will use up a lot of thrust. Let's turn this off. Turn that off. Turn these off. We don't really need them. They're on orbit sort of maneuver thrusters we're going to use otherwise. Retrograde, please. Why am I not on retrograde? Okay, it's just really slow rotating. Force the roll as well. Get the gear down. Right, so we're currently above the moon's lowlands. I need to record this quite well. So there we are. We're coming in basically on what I would consider the alleyway. So I think we start here and we see where we're going to land. Yeah, that's a good idea. And we'll time how long it's going to be. Let's get ourselves going. Get the engines up. And then... Come on, start some engines. There we go. It's got a gimbal, which is always fun. Right, there we go. Right, so have we got it? We haven't got a prediction for landing yet. That's cool. That is cool. Is our periaps moving out? Our periaps is moving out. That's good. Okay. So I am acutely aware of the fact that we are really slow to respond right now. Surface velocity negative. Execute that, please. Why is my RCS so slow? Why is it so sluggish? Normally it would straighten itself right up. This is really odd. Is it because we've just got we don't have crew on board? Is it because of, I don't know. It's very strange. Right. So we can see, yeah, periaps is all over there now. We want to be coming down about here. That's my target. My target coordinates are about there. Target on map. I think my target is going to be there. That little outcropping is the furthest point. Okay. Now that's going to vanish. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Have we gone too soon is my question. Possibly not. We can always throttle down if need be. But I'm keeping an eye on that surface. Yeah. We've got to go over all of this first. And of course, we are going to have... Where are we? Let me pull this up. We've got the biome data over here, which is quite nice, actually, because I've put on the biome data vertical speed. So we can see how far we are actually going to fall down. We are very high up at the moment. We've come from a very high angle, as it were. So you'll see our vertical speed will increase because we're burning like this. So our prediction is currently the Oceanus Porcellum. Okay, that's cool. I like that, actually. So we know this whole region here is okay to land in. Right, okay. We have to be careful. We've got a prediction of 6 minutes to landing. 0 delta V needed. How interesting. Target distance is okay. Right, let's have a look. Now the bonus of this is if we always put the craft down in roughly the same area, I can always walk the Kerbals the kilometers they have to go if need be, if I can't get myself a landing craft of any sort. Right, we're down to 69. Okay. I wonder whether coming in from a higher angle like this is a better approach. I've always been a mindset of you need to have a nice low approach and then you basically fire horizontally and then you don't lose like velocity in your fall. We are losing a bit of velocity in fall. Our vertical speed is going up, but that's actually solving a problem for us because we are too high, which is not a bit of an issue, not much of an issue for us. Time to landing is 3 minutes. We've got 6 minutes on the engine. We've got 800 meters per second. This will start to, yeah, it's starting to tilt down a little bit, so it's going to basically be controlling itself, which is all right. We can deal with that. We do have a bit of speed building up. Once we get to about 20, I need to be careful because we will just fall into the ground, and that is a concern. Where are we coming down now? Oh, we are very close to the edge, aren't we? Okay. So we were aiming for this, but this is actually a lot closer. We're coming in quite rapidly, is one thing I have noticed. We're going to end up being very vertical, I think. Our vertical speed is slowing down. Well, it's not increasing as much. And I think that is partially down to the angle we're now coming in at. I may have to give it up a bit more though for this. I think we'll have to have a look. We may even have to slow down the descent. I've just realized we're still in speed 3, which is a little bit crazy. Right. I think we are going to pitch a bit. Yeah, I think I want to pitch a bit. 15. Give me 15. I want to get control of that vertical speed a little bit because it is quite high now. Let's take me to 20. In fact, take me to 25. That's better. Get that vertical speed under wraps, as it were. Yeah, we need to get control of that because it is quite high. We're at 15. Okay, we're going to be landing at about 7 kilometers up, which is not a problem. I'm concerned about this vertical speed not going down. What we could do is actually just put a bit of effort in and really get it down, but I think we're going to be okay. Fingers crossed, he says, in a carefree manner. I think we're going to be okay with this. We're killing off the horizontal by significantly, and we're really pulling this in now. So we're now at 90. The horizontal I don't really mind about as long as because we've got the fuel to do this. We've got 700 meters per second, so we have excess. I think I want to go more vertical and just do that. And then I also think what I want to do is pull this down like so. And actually, you know what? Let's go to 0. There we go. That's it. Let it go down a bit more. We are 10 kilometers up, which is quite high, actually. It's a long way up thinking about it. I've got 60 meters per second. Let's zero this out. We're going to drop. I know we're going to do a drop. That's one thing I have now identified with this craft. We are going to drop, which isn't a big problem. I don't have an issue with that. I want to just pull this down. There we go. What I am going to do is I'm going to do this just to keep under control that vertical speed. Yeah. Because we have got it at 50 and I would like to get rid of it a bit. And we're now at 8 kilometers up, coming down. We have 500 meters per second left. I should let it go down a bit more. We're actually not turning the engine off because I can't remember how many restarts this has, you must know. I think potentially we could land it under the small thrusters when this is almost empty, but yeah, we've got 2 ignitions remaining on this, which is not a big issue. Not a big issue. We could use some of this excess fuel if we have any for taking off. Right, so there we go. We're down to minimum now, and it's just going to fall. So we're going to put it on the 0. RCS is going to pull it up. There we go. Get that there. It's still doing its roll thing, isn't it? Which is interesting. It's not actually correcting its inclination. Not its inclination, its positioning. You'll see it's not lined up nicely. We are falling at 64 meters per second. So we've got about, what, 100 seconds until we hit. Well, we can actually look on here, can't we? There we go. I can kill that pretty quickly, though, I think now. I think, you know, we're looking at this 1 minute 20, 40, 70 meters per second. We're pretty much all vertical now, isn't it? Yeah. So we're going to start just pulling this up a bit. We don't want it to get too much. We're going to start pulling it a bit more. There we go. 4 kilometers up. We're dropping. There we go. Lovely. We don't want to lose too much speed. Just keep it under control. You're better off actually doing like a suicide burn. It's more efficient. We are going to waste a lot of fuel doing this because I'm just going to bring this down so slowly. It's going to be stupid. You're going to be screaming at the screens. However, Oceanus Porcelium, which is where I want to be, which is fine. So there we go. Right, we are down to 50. Time to impact is 30 seconds. We got a minute's worth of fuel, so that's not a big issue. Let's have a look. Ooh, I think I want to bring this up a bit now. Yeah, let's fire all of everything. Bring it down a bit. There we go. There we go. Keep it at 25. So now we're at 26. 26 is fine. We can pull out of that if need be. And then it's just a gentle come down. It's a lot easier when you don't have crew on board. And you're not worrying about the crew, isn't it? Yeah. So we're just going to come down. Slow it down at the last minute when we get to about 500. This is actually going to slow itself down looking at it. It is actually, now because the fuel is draining, it's actually, the thrust is starting to get up there a bit. 19. So we're going to do that. We're at 400 meters. Pull it down to a little bit less. I don't know what these legs are valid for, actually. It used to say on them 6.8 meters per second. There you go. That's the thing they're valid for. So as long as we're below that, we're okay. There we go. We've got 200 meters per second. We're going to really burn all of this fuel now, just to be annoying. My major concern is I'm actually looking at the delta V reading, and I'm looking at the distance, and I'm thinking we might actually run out of fuel here. I've been a little bit too lackadaisical, so we are slowing a little bit. That's okay. RCS is giving it a bit of beans, trying to keep us still. So what should happen is we should touch down, and then this thing might start going up again, but we have to just be aware of that. Right, we're going to go down at 4. I've got 140 meters per second. This is not the best landing. I will admit it is not a pretty landing. Right, coming down and down and down, and then slow it down ever so much. There we go. And contact. There we go. Contact down. And we're down. Right. We have landed in the Oceanus Porcellum, have we? Yes, we have. We're down in the correct location. Of course, we can't do any... Oh, we turned the oxygen off. How nice. We can't do anything because we're no crew. We can't do that because we've done it. We've landed here many times. So we know it's possible. And we now have a marker, which makes it even easier. So let's actually have a look. Where do we land? So we started our descent online with these. So about here. And it put us there. Okay. But that was from a high angle. Okay. So even so, I think we're happy with that. I think that's good. So I suppose we should build some more craft and do some other stuff and things. So from one moon to another moon, or going to another moon. This is our second mission to try and go to Titan. Of course, our first one is en route at the moment, or should be en route, or hopefully is en route. We're hoping it's going to be en route. So this is the sister craft. It's going to live in this window because we're hoping that we won't need it, but it's always a good idea to have two of them. This one I think takes a little bit more of a push to get out there to Saturn. We of course decided to sacrifice our two other Saturn probes that would have been launching in this window for the sake of landing on the moon, which I think was probably a good choice. We got a big jump of cash for it, and it's knocked that off so we can start planning ahead. Otherwise we'd have been basically waiting to do that mission, and then we'd be a step behind. But we can go to Saturn again in a year's time, so that's not a problem. We should be okay fuel wise. This was the big mission. This is the big heavy one with dual landers and things like that, so this had to go on this window. Otherwise I think we would have been too short on fuel, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what goes on with this. So I'm going to get this thing into orbit, and then we will see about getting it on its way to Saturn. So we are in orbit. We've got about 9 minutes until our departure time. We're going to use the maneuver planner. In fact, we're going to execute the next node. There we go. Turn the RCS on, get it doing its stuff. I'm just going to check that we're actually, let's have a look. Electric charge. We are using a bit of electric charge up. However, that is because we have this big tank on the bottom. We should have excess delta V. We actually had about 700-800 meters per second in the launch vehicle extra. So there was space there for extra fuel even in this stage. So potentially that gives us a mindset for what this craft can do. It's got a good chunk of delta V on board. So the mindset I have there is actually, can we do something with this in future? Maybe longer range. If we got rid of these craft on either side and we upgraded its antenna, maybe this thing could potentially go out to, I'm thinking Pluto. I'm thinking Pluto. But anyway, we'll get this thing lined up and then we shall get departed. We are approaching the time. Now, one of the big things I noticed with this is that when it goes into time warp, these apoapses and periapses still continue to change. That is a problem. So I'm actually delaying us actually aligning until just before. And even then, I'm sort of concerned about when it auto time warps. So you can see here, I am actually tempted to knock the auto time warp off and just wait the 7 minutes because these do move and then it's just not accurate anymore. I think we're going to let it try it though. So keep it like that. 200 by 199.46. Let's have a look. Is it going to? Oh, it's kept it. So that's interesting. It seems as though once it's stabilized, if it's not rolling, it's fine. It seems maybe persistent rotation in this is causing a little glitch with the apoapsis periapsis. That is a possibility. Now, it's going to fire its RCS. Is it? Is it going to fire its RCS? At some point, there we are. It's going to settle that. Then we're going to stage that engine, and we are off to the races. There we go. And this should be, it's going to be a 7-minute burn, but we can have a look at the craft while we're looking at it. So you can see in here, not a brilliant thing to view. We've got a load of equipment up here. This is one of our landers. This is the other lander. They've got parachutes built in. I'm hoping they're going to work. We've got some equipment under there. We've got basically fuel tanks and control there. We've got our thermoelectric system. What are they actually? They are Snap 19s. We are about to get better stuff. We have our top dish here, which is running at RF band X, and it's tech level 7. I actually need to check the tech level because we have recently had an upgrade on our antennas, but I don't think I paid the like one fund that will activate that, so I need to check that we've actually got that. Anyway, I'm gonna let this fire along. We'll wait until it's finished, and then we can see what it's going to do at the end, and we may see about using this tank for some more stuff. We have another ignition on this if need be. Oh, we have have we been using old tech for that? We have, because this has got 3 ignitions, haven't it? We've used 1, we've got 2 left, so we've actually been using older engines on our moon missions. I should really go back and update those, but we started building them. So let's just assume that they're being built like that. It adds a bit more complexity, but actually having 2 ignitions on that makes this a very much more interesting method of getting a craft into where I want it to be to land. That's an interesting thought. Right, let's get this going, and then I shall rejoin you very shortly. Right, we're getting to the very end of this burn. We can actually, I was about to close that down, but we can actually see it's going to stop any second. Okay, abort that node. We're going to just prograde it, hold it on prograde. Right, thank you. It's obviously pausing up. Let's have a look. How close are we? Is there an Oh, I think we might actually have an encounter. How exciting. Right. Now this is where it starts to get interesting, because my target is Titan. So set as target. Let's have a look. Let's get rid of all of these. And that. Right. So we're saying that we need to be on the other side quite considerably. So what's happening here? We need to thrust the other way. So we're gonna thrust the craft the other way. Let's see what happens. Bring this in. I want to keep that in detail. Let's have a look. Oh, there was an encounter there that I like the look of, but okay. Let's pull it back and... Alright, let's have a look. This perhaps is not pretty. Not pretty at all. Right. I wonder if a little bit of this might help. No, do that. And if we do a bit more of this, I mean, what we could do is get this down as close as possible. What I'd like is to get the periaps and the ascending node at the same point, because if I can do that, it makes plane changes really easy. But I don't think that's going to happen. So let's have a look. If we come in there, right, if I do a little burn up here, and I try to, I don't know, change this. So if I did a bit of that, and then maybe a bit of that as well. What's this like? It's minus 80. Okay. Then a bit of that. Minus 70. Bit of that. Bit more. Okay. We could do this. We could do this. This could be okay. Do a bit of that. Bit of that. How much is that going to cost us? That's not terrible. It's not offending me too much. What is offending me is how high that's getting. So we could just pull that in a bit, couldn't we? No, minus 0. Minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, 3, 2, 1. And then could I get it? Could I? No, we're going to go a bit too far there. We need to, we would need to put a bit of forward in, wouldn't we? Yeah, just to pull it out a bit. Let's actually have a play again with that. So if we put a little bit of prograde in, let's have a look. Oh no, it's not doing it. So we need to zero out that prograde. Get rid of that. Right. What would happen with a bit more? Well, that's better. We do actually get it popping out again. And what happens to our ascending node? 8. Oh, but then that's popped up again, hasn't it? So we'll do a bit of that, bit of that, bit of that. Yeah. I wonder whether we could just, if we can get this near this, then we can fix it far out and it won't cost as much. So what about a bit of this? Just put it there. And then a bit more of this. Is it better to do that? How far out are we? We're in the rings. There, that would do that. And then I'd be able to capture. Yeah, then we'd be able to capture nicely. I don't know what that's going to cost us. It should only cost a few hundred, I think. Let's put a maneuver in there. So capture that. Like so. Ooh, there we go, that's captured. And that's going to cost us 800. Okay. Then we do a correction of plane there. So that would be probably doing that, are we? Let's have a look to get off. Thank you. Oh, is it showing now? Okay, we do that. Right, so if I did a bit of, no, other way. Went like that. Keep going. That would then mean it would take us, oh, we've got an encounter there even. So we're looking at that. What's that going to cost me? That's going to cost me another 100. Then I have to come back down to here and go. Right, so that's that. That comes around. That comes to there. Now we're on this one here. So I'll then put another one in here and go put me in over there. Wherever that is, I don't really mind. And then get this down into that one there. What's that going to cost me? And that's going to be an encounter there, isn't it? Yes, it is. So let's say that. What's that? That's 1,000. So we're looking at 90. We're looking at about 1,500, which gives me another big chunk to actually capture. And I can't remember what capturing around Titan takes, but it's not too bad actually, if I remember rightly, if we're coming in the right way. So I feel happy about that. That's we're going to get rid of that one. We're going to get rid of this one. Get rid of that. And we're going to leave that one node, isn't it? I think we've only got one maneuver. We've got 2 maneuvers. Where's the other maneuver? Where is the other maneuver? Oh, it's out there. That's what. Okay. So we got those 2 maneuvers, which will do this. What I can do is I can actually get rid of this one because we could do better. We can do a better maneuver than that. Do that. Get rid of that. Because we can put our maneuver right on there once we've done this. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. So I think that's going to be our mission approach and everything. So we need to, first of all, am I keeping this attached? I think we might be. I think we might be because I don't want to decouple it more than anything else because it will change everything. So let's have a look. What do we like for energy? Electric charge, we are running out. What if I just do this? What if we actually just shut that down? Okay. It's still taking energy. Oh, this is going to kill me, isn't it? This is actually going to kill me. Oh yeah, that's going to have ruined it. Oh, it has, hasn't it? RCS going to now have we actually activated the bits? There we go. We're now okay. Right. Should have decoupled that before we did anything. Yeah. I'm gonna pop it like that. What is the... It's not even showing, is it? Yeah, we'll just do it as soon as we enter the sphere of influence. That's all we can do. That's all I can do with it. This should now be pretty much about to hit itself. So is it? Yeah, it's pretty much on target with itself. So that's okay. I'm okay with that. Electric wise, it is charging, which is good. We can possibly turn on the... Where are you? Come here. We could possibly turn on the avian. Oh, the avionics are on. We have control. 6 tons. Good. So that is working. We do have control. And it's now a case of sending this thing into the great yonder. We will check that it has actually got itself set up. It does. It's got a transfer there. I will... That one's not in, so we're going to add the other one and give me 60 minutes to get to it. That's going to be... let's have a look. It's going to be 170 days after the other one. Oh, that's interesting. So is this actually it's getting a quicker travel time than the other one? Okay. And there you go. You can have a look at it in the sunlight now, so you can actually see what we've been looking at. We have got fuel tanks down the center. We have some 4 engines at the bottom, the R4D engines. We've got the outriggers that you've seen on other craft. We've got 2 sets of them. We've got our lander here. We've got a lander there. I don't know if they will work or not. We will find out. It's going to be interesting. Their RCS is firing for some reason when we do stuff. That is not what I was planning, because they have a limited RCS supply. Right. we need to think about that a little bit, because that's just going to be annoying, isn't it? But anyway, we will, if we have to, we'll dump the whole thing into the atmosphere. Right. So I'm going to make this thing go through the spheres of influence and get itself out into interplanetary space. But that is going to be it for this episode. Not a long one. I would still love your feedback on what the next steps are. I think we're going to go for a targeted landing with crew next time. I probably need to hire some new crew, actually, because we have a lack of pilots. I have no idea why. So from me, until next time, have a great one.